Hi Aries, happy early birthday to those of you who celebrate in March, and welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your March 2023 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's a Celtic cross spread as always, and I'll also pull the Four Agreements, Wisdom, Oracle, and Mudra card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Right, well, we actually have Aries, so makes sense that as we get toward the end of March, we'll be in Aries season. So to see your energy come up makes perfect sense in that regard. But could just be saying you're putting some focus on yourselves this month. Right, we also have 10th house. So 10th house energy for you guys is actually Capricorn, and 10th house in general points to career and social status. You guys have had Pluto in there for a really long time, and it's actually going to be moving into Aquarius as we get to the start of your season toward the end of March. So that could be a big shift there. And we have Saturn. So Saturn is actually in Aquarius, which is your 11th house of groups, friendships, hopes, and wishes. And it's going to be moving into Pisces early in March, which is your 12th house, which could relate to spirituality, blind spots, and mental health. So keep those in mind as we go through the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the Knight of Pentacles, and challenging that, we have the Six of Swords. So the way I'm seeing this, primarily for a lot of you, could just be saying you might be getting a new opportunity coming through for you, especially within your work environment, given that we did see the 10th house come up. But I feel like the challenge there is to leave the connections behind in the process, right? So obviously, when you spend a lot of time at your work environment, you could build some friendships there over time, right? So it could just be one of those things where you might have an opportunity that you view would be beneficial for you, but you could just feel like a little bit of sadness around, okay, well, if I do, I'm not going to be able to interact with my current coworkers as much as I tended to, right? So it could just be one of those things there. And for others of you, this could just be saying that in order for you to take the next step with your finances as well, it could just be saying that you might have to leave some friendships behind, right? So maybe if you know that there's friendships you've had for a long time, but maybe you might find yourselves lacking in productivity when you deal with them, right? Could just be one of those things where there's a nudge to cut ties in that regard. All right, foundation position, we have the Four of Cups. So yeah, to me, this could just be saying that as far as the new offers coming your way, you might not necessarily be happy with them, right? So again, like I said, maybe it's just even within the new work environment you'd find yourself in, right? Maybe you feel like, oh, I don't know if I'd connect with those people at the same level I've connected with the people I've been with so far, right? So it could just be one of those things where there could be some resistance on your part to actually move forward and try something new. All right, in the past position, we have Justice. So this is the major arcana card for Libra, and it could just be saying that whatever this new opportunity is that's coming your way this month, it looks like this was probably karmically meant to happen. So one of those things, especially at the Knight of Pentacles too, because that's a steady, stable energy, but it could also be slow moving. So this could be one of those things that's been a long time coming, right? But within the meantime, while you were waiting for the opportunity to come around, you could have gotten a little bit of comfort and complacency where you were. So it could just be one of those things where it's like the opportunity coming your way now, it's actually due to the work you've put in the past anyway. All right, present position, we have the Five of Wands. So yeah, this is actually Leo energy here. And funny enough, could just be saying that now you might actually find that there could be a bit of a ego conflict that might arise within your environment. So interestingly enough, like let's say if it is in your current work environment, right? So that might actually be karmically being put out there to show you like, okay, well, you might feel like, oh, I'm comfortable with the group that I'm with, but if things start to go off the rails there, then what, right? So it could just be one of those things where there might be a bit of a conflict or an argument that might come out into play that might actually nudge you forward toward a new opportunity. All right, in your future position, we have the Death card. So yeah, to me, this says that eventually you will end up making that shift and actually take the opportunity. Might take you a while, but it looks like you will eventually get there. Um, I mean, it's even possible that for some of you, this could just be saying that it might take until the Taurus full moon that we have during, or excuse me, the Scorpio full moon that we have during Taurus season. But I feel like that's a little less likely. For a lot of you, it's just saying that it's just a process that, again, this is probably a connection you've been in a long time. Like I said, whether it's a work situation or friendships. So to leave it behind might not be the easiest thing, but it looks like something will nudge you forward to actually take action on that this month. All right. And in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the world. So yeah, again, between that and seeing the justice card in the past, this looks like this was a cycle that you were meant to go through. And it looks like it's saying that you've gone as far as you can with that cycle, and now there's a new opportunity at play for you to advance forward. So again, like I said, it could definitely be some resistance there, but again, it actually does stick out to me that we're seeing the fixed sign energies in this card as well. So yeah, it could just be saying that as we move through March, you might not be quite ready yet, but maybe as we move toward April, you'll feel a little bit more inclined to make the move when we get to Taurus season. Right. In the environment position, we have the Two of Swords. So yeah, so like we said, it definitely looks like there's some kind of a crossroads energy. Um, and to me, it looks like you really are trying to make a decision that you view would be best for all parties involved, right? So if you're, again, going back to a work example, right? You're like, oh, I want to leave this work environment behind because I have this new opportunity, but at the same time, I feel like it put my coworkers at a disadvantage and I'm really close to them, right? So it could just be one of those things where you're really trying to search that perfect solution, but it just might not be available, So that could be why you're caught in that cycle there. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the star. So yeah, this is Aquarius energy again here. So for the majority of you, I feel like this is a hope, right? Where, like I said, it looks like there's really some resistance on your part to leave a group that you've been dealing with behind. So primarily, it's still coming across to me as it's, for most of you, a work-related thing. But again, like I said, it could be friendships, right? If you're moving to another location, you might be like, oh, I can't spend as much time with my friends. If that's the case, I mean, the good thing about the way technology is now, it's so much easier to stay in touch with people if you do relocate. But yeah, it looks like there's just a little resistance on your part as far as that goes. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Six of Wands. So yeah, looks like success and recognition. So, and I do say that sometimes this could be as simple as just pointing out that, especially given that we are going to be moving into your season as we get toward the end of March, it could be as simple as people wishing you happy birthday, right? It doesn't have to be a huge thing, but this does point to some recognition, being in the spotlight in some way. So yeah, it looks like you will have some success as we get toward the end of March. All right, and bottom of the deck we have the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, like I said, it looks like there's going to be some opportunity coming your way. Again, I feel like this was an opportunity that at least you had in mind for a long time, or something about there was an expectation that it would have already been here, but now it's finally here. And it could just be catching you off guard in a little bit of a way to where you're like, okay, maybe. So, for example, just a super generic example, let's say you applied for a job like 3 months ago, and by now you assumed it's long gone, and all of a sudden the opportunity comes up this month. You're like, oh, okay, obviously you wanted it at a certain point, but you just figured with how much time passed that it wasn't going to happen. So it could be something like that. All right, moving on to your Four Agreements card. We have be impeccable with your word and speak with integrity. Okay, let's see what it says. Says, say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. So, definitely a pretty positive message there, especially as far as that Five of Wands energy we see in the current environment, right? So just be on the lookout for anything like that where there could be some gossiping, some petty competitions going on. Could just be telling you to avoid that if possible. All right, and moving on to your Wisdom Oracle card, we have a leg up. There's the artwork, and the number is 34. So we'll see what that has to say. Okay, essential meanings says receiving help, delegating authority, interdependence. The Oracle's message: you come to a point where going it alone is no longer optimal for you. Life has a way of presenting you with the perfect people to align with who can give you a leg up during this next phase of your journey. Help comes to you in all the areas of your life where you need a boost. The trick is to accept that aid so freely given. When you embrace interdependence, allowing teamwork and independence to commingle, miracles happen. Now is such a time. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there. And again, to me, that seems to point to you finding yourself in a new environment in some way this month and getting new connections through that. Okay, the relationship message says relationships that are healthy thrive on interdependence. It's important to recognize that you need others as much as they need you. You must allow people to support you just as you were there for them. This is a time to be vulnerable, to speak up about your needs, and to ask for them to be fulfilled. Trust, you will be met with kindness and love. Don't expect others to read your mind, though. Ask, and it is given. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there, especially if you, let's say, if you really truly do want to stay in your current environment, right? But there's a new offer at play. Maybe it could just be saying in that regard, you should at least attempt to talk to where you currently are, right? To see if they could do something to make your conditions better where you are, to where you wouldn't even necessarily feel like you have a missed opportunity with the new position, you know? Okay, the prosperity message says, now is the perfect time to seek advice from a mentor or business advisor who has been where you want to go to help you get there too. If you do, you will receive very good counsel that will aid in your prosperity. It may also be the case that your endeavors have grown and you are in a position where you just can't do it all yourself anymore. Time to bring on those who can give you a leg up. Trust that help is available and it will indeed appear. Delegate authority to others so you can take steps toward your big dream. The perfect people will arrive at the perfect time, so long as you step forward with just a mustard seed of faith. So definitely an interesting message there as well. So it could just be saying that maybe you're being asked to incorporate new people in that regard as well, but hopefully that resonated. And lastly, we have a mudra for you guys. So this is your mudra here. It's the Shankha mudra, and the keyword for it is mystery. All right, and there's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says improves the voice, helps reduce speech defects such as stuttering, calms the mind, improves concentration, nourishes the kidneys and sexual glands, benefits the hair and bones, has a special connection with the navel center, thereby improving digestion and increasing appetite. So if that sounds like a mudra thing to be beneficial for you guys, I'll put the name in the description video as always. Once again, happy early birthday to those of you celebrating March, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.